It is a lawless land, and it turns out the whole thing was wrong, and everything I did was wrong, and take another hour to come back? What is this? What is going on? It's that time of year again where people are stepping into a new chapter of life, freedom, and all that stuff. Yay, independence, right? But if you're on the other side of the world, you might be thinking,
wow, are you stupid? School starts in like September.
Yes, I am stupid. Regardless, anyways, if you're on my side of the world, university or college, or like tertiary education, is about to start soon, and you might be terrified of what's happening. You might not know what's going on. You might think you know what's going on. But regardless, I am here to help you. I have completed 1 year of tertiary education already, so I like to think I'm quite knowledgeable on what's going on. And even if I'm not, I have asked other friends who have also completed at least 1 year of tertiary education to tell me things that they wish they knew or things that they think are helpful. So today we are going to be telling you these tips and tricks and pieces of advice so that you can go into your university or college tertiary life better prepared to take on this new chapter of life and stuff like that. So yes, these are things that I myself had to take a while to learn, or that I wish I knew before, or things that my friends had to learn. And yes, university, college, it is school and education, but that's not all of it. It is a school and education where you are independent, properly independent for the first time. So not only will we be talking about the education side of it, but we'll also be talking about the social side of it, because that's also important too. So let's get on with the video. Haha. Also, I got a new mic I'm using. You might have seen it in previous videos and it didn't work because I think my phone wasn't compatible with it, but then I have a different one now. So I hope it works. If it loses battery halfway through, I'm going to cry. Some more unrelated things before we start the video. If you've seen my other two information teaching videos, you might know that we're in a different setting. I thought, let's get a change of pace, might be cool. And also, I'm wearing a university hoodie because this is about universities and tertiary education, so it's fitting, right? This isn't my university, so I don't go here. But also, I don't think I'm anywhere near big and famous enough for people to want to go look for me in university, so go to this university. It's fine. It's great. Yeah. Onto the video for real now. Right. So number one, for actual school things that I need to learn. This one, you might be like,
duh, obvious. Are you kidding?
But I personally had to figure this out. So some of you out there might also need to figure this out. Some of you might kind of know it, but you need certainty. You need to process it. So here we are telling you anyways. There are two kinds of class you can take. Maybe there's more subcategories, but the two big types, lectures and labs. Or tutorials. Labs and tutorials. Lectures. You go and you sit in a big hall with everyone who takes the same course and a professor talks at you and you take notes. Labs or tutorials. You meet up in smaller groups sometime later, separately from the lectures, and you go over things that you learned. You might do activities, you might have group projects. Group projects, oh my gosh. Unrelated a little bit. But don't be too scared of group projects, I think, because I had to do a group project. My group was fantastic. We had a great time. Other people did not. So it really depends. Don't go in scared. Go in prepared. I'm a poet. Back to lectures and labs. If you are timetabling or something and you're doing it manually, you're not getting some website to make it for you, because some school enrollments might have options for that. Lectures, you have to choose them. You have to put all of them in your timetable. You might not go to them, but you have to put them all of them in your timetable. And the lectures are every week, same time. Labs and tutorials might not be every week, and you get given a list of them and you choose which one you go to. If you're unlucky, maybe your school doesn't let you choose, but mine does. So you have to choose every lecture and put that in your timetable, and then you choose out of a list of labs or tutorials which one is best for you and which one you want to go to. Like I said, you might already know this, but I had to figure it out because I had no idea what was going on with anything ever. The next thing, I'm not sure if this is like strictly about education, maybe it's a bit more social, but it's next in the list. And this is also maybe a little bit obvious, but I had to figure this out. As someone who was a stickler for the rules, I was like model student, followed all the rules. You can do whatever you want. That's like within reason. You can't kill people or whatever. There are no set school rules like you might have at a high school. Basically, it is like, this is a big public area. Whatever you can do in a public area, you can do it there. You can sit wherever you want, you can eat wherever you want, you can drink water wherever you want. That might sound crazy, but at my high school, my specific like group house, we were not allowed to drink water inside. I heard that's changed recently, which is great, but it was kind of like a formative part of our experience, and that was so funny. We would make so many jokes about it. But yeah, you can drink water wherever you want. You can step on the grass if you want. You can leave class if you want. You can like not show up if you want. But remember that lecturers and the other students around you, and even just general public passing through, they're all people. They're still people. There's still general laws and rules that you have to follow in your country too. Be considerate. If your class is graded, maybe don't skip that one. If it's just a lecture and it's not graded, and they have the lecture notes afterwards, and maybe they don't want to go, then like maybe don't go, you know. We'll talk more about skipping later, but you can do whatever you want, you know, just as long as it's within reason and be considerate. It is a lawless land. Hello, it's Editor Emma back again. Back again. And I'm here to say something kind of relevant, because I said like professors and lecturers and whatever, they're people, right? But also like the relationship with your teachers is different compared to in high school, also depending who you are. Okay, like I don't know, you might be friends with a teacher in high school, but then there would still be that clear, you can feel a kind of divide in power. They are superior. But in university and college, it's like clearly you can be the same age, you can be friends, you could even be in a relationship. So like there is like much less of a divide. You can be much more casual, and you call them by their first names too. So that took some getting used to. Next up is that you should find what works for you in terms of like classes and timings, because I don't know why, but once you hit tertiary education, you're like always tired. In high school, I would have like extracurriculars every day. I would go to school from like 8 to 3, 4, and then do stuff afterwards, and I do things on the weekends, and I'd be fine. I would be great and dandy. But now we have classes maybe 3 times a week, and I'd be so tired and I wouldn't want to go to any of them. So find things that work for you, find timings that work for you, and just make it easier to go for yourself. And in high school, you might have been one of those people that woke up at like 6 a.m. and you go to class and you have a great time, so you think, oh, I'll just choose like an 8 a.m. class and it'll be fine. Don't do that to yourself. Like I said, you are always tired. Maybe you have to commute a long distance. Try not to do that to yourself. Please don't. If you have an 8 a.m. lecture, you can't help it. I had an 8 a.m. lecture last year. I just didn't go. Don't choose super early classes, even if you live close. Don't do that to yourself. You will be tired. You will not want to go. Next up, Canvas is this like website thing that tertiary education institutions use. It's like Google Classroom, but for university and college. It can be confusing at first, so spend some time getting to know it before classes. Navigate around, click on all the different tabs, see what they do. Even if you don't completely understand it, that's okay, because you know it's there. What you should also do about Canvas, turn on Canvas notifications. Go to notifications, make sure all the relevant things are turned on. So when someone posts an announcement, when there's like a grade coming back, something like that, you get notified. So you don't have to go in and check. You get notified, you get all the information, and you stay on top of things. Kind of related to staying on top of things is to follow a bunch of university Instagram pages. I followed a bunch last year, and I would always get information on where to get free food, free this, free that. It's great. So follow as many as you can, get this free stuff. Along with free stuff, they also tell you about like events, so you can get involved. Maybe you can have not as sad a time at university as like just going to class and then then coming back home. You can go look at some performances, go to some markets, maybe buy something, maybe not. Maybe you could meet someone. I don't know. Get involved, kind of, So just stay on top of things. Know what's going on. I'll talk about this more later as well in the social side. Okay, and some more serious education-y things, right? So I have a kind of story. I'm going to try remember it. I had an assignment from a class tutorial one time, and the thing about these tutorials is they had like different tutorials on different days, right? And we got told about this assignment at our tutorials, but we all had the same due date, which means some of us had different amounts of time to submit, which is not fair, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm here to talk about is that, like, I finished all my work, I finished the assignment, and I got it all done, and I submitted, and then I went to the tutorial, and this tutor, I still have a deep-rooted spite for her, but this tutor then, like, went and told us, like, this whole thing is wrong, and blah, 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 and she gave us all this information that wasn't on the assignment information. Like, there was no way we would have known about this stuff if we hadn't gone to the tutorial, so go to your tutorials, but also, that's not fair, and we were, like, the last tutorial. The assignment was due on our tutorial day, and I'd already handed it in because I'd looked at all the information, I knew what I was doing, I did it, then I went to the tutorial, and it turns out the whole thing was wrong, and everything I did was wrong. So basically what I'm saying is read through everything, get started before if possible, but don't submit until you've finished all the tutorials, until there's like no chance for anyone to give you extra information. I know some of you, like me, might want to get it done, turn it in as soon as possible. Wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit. Make sure there's nothing else that can come out of the blue, and then turn it in. Oh my goodness, that was so, I was so mad. So like, don't turn things in until you've done all the tutorials, all the labs, all the lectures. Be certain. And then, when you get your grades back, check the grades, check the rubric, check the comments. You might want to just be like,
oh, I got the grade, I don't want to look at it.
Or you might just look at the grade and be like, okay, this is what I get. Look at the comments, look at the rubric. The lecturer, the professors, they might seem like the be-all end-all god of your education. They are not. One time, I should have gotten full mark for this one section, and I got no marks because the tutor, didn't check this thing properly. And then I wouldn't have gotten the marks if I hadn't gone back and challenged them and said, no, I know I did this, here's the proof I did this. And then even then, I got 4 out of 5. And then I could have gone, oh yeah, maybe there's a reason for that. I knew, no, this is not what I deserve. So I went and I asked again. I still didn't end up getting 5 out of 5 marks because it was too late and they can't change the grades too much. But challenge things that you don't believe in. Challenge results and grades that you know you don't believe in or don't deserve. Check things, make sure you are getting what you should be getting, right? And the example I just gave might seem like a very straightforward. Well, obviously there's a clear, you get this mark for doing this, and then you didn't get the mark, so you should challenge. But also don't be afraid to challenge if you feel very strongly about an opinion on your mark. For example, one time we got a very, very low grade because the marker was I think this joke isn't funny and it's very offensive and inappropriate, and then our entire group was that's not right. They're what do you mean? And then so we went and challenged them, and they didn't agree anyways, but then it turned out there was another issue that they marked incorrectly on, so we got a grade increase anyways. So if you have an opinion that can be justified and is valid and not just I think I deserve full marks because I do, then you should also be brave and challenge that as well. They can't give you detention or anything for being disrespectful or whatever. They just think you're a horrible person, and they can't, that's not great either, but they can't mark you down because they don't like you, because then you could challenge that justifiably, and then so challenge things, be brave, all that stuff. Those are some horror stories that you could learn from, I learned from. And that is all for the first part, for the horror story education learning part. And now we're going to move on to some more social life fun things. Yay, social life things. I assume I had a fun transition thing also. Oh dear, look at this cool cup I got. I love it. It makes me drink more water because it feels cool and bougie to drink from a straw. Also, this camera is really good, but you can see every single pore I have and all the texture on my face. It's not great. Social life. Something that I had to come to terms with I'm not sure if you like learn it, but it's more like you come to terms with it, is that every single introduction you have with a new person is going to go, oh my gosh, hi, what's your name? My name's... What's your name? Oh, I'm... So nice to meet you. What do you major in? Oh, I major in... How about you? Oh, I major in... That's so cool. And that's it. Be prepared. Either be prepared to mindlessly say that, know what you major in. Because, like, I've had to think every time. Someone goes, oh my gosh, what do you major in? And I go like... So either have your answer prepared, be ready to not have meaningful conversations, or don't do that. Don't settle. Don't be boring. Have conversations like, I don't know, who's your favorite lecturer? Maybe I know them. What's a weird story from your lectures or tutorials or labs? You know, don't be boring. That's so sad. Don't do that. Another thing about meeting people is that you don't really meet people through classes, especially lectures. You go sit there, listen, do you think, leave. So yeah, you don't really meet people there. In labs and tutorials, maybe if you're lucky or unlucky, they make you do like group work, but then even then, sometimes you just do the work with them and then you leave and you don't talk to them ever again. Why is it darkening? Why are you darkening? Hello? You don't meet people through class. You meet them more through doing like outside activities. Maybe if you live in halls, you're lucky and then you get to meet people through there. Otherwise, you have to do like activities. You go to events, you got to be outgoing and say hi to people and then keep talking to them. I know it's difficult and sad and no one wants to do that, but if you see someone that's cool, you gotta go up to them and be like, oh my gosh, hi, you look so cool. Like, I want to get to know you or something like that, you know? Gotta put the effort in, and it doesn't happen in classes, so you really gotta put extra effort in. Classes are just about classes. And more about classes, lectures especially, they are massive. And also, a lot of people don't go. So it's very difficult to make friends because one, it's like massive and nobody wants to talk. They all want to sit there and copy down notes and then leave. And also, if that's not what's happening, they're not there. So you can't make friends with them because they're not there. So that's difficult. For reference, in my last year of high school, I made like so many friends. What is going on? Is that like... I made so many new friends. It was like the most new friends I made. I was so involved at school. And then at university, I made like class acquaintances. We talked to each other during classes, in between classes, because when we had no one else to talk to. And now that university is over, the number of people I met through university that I still talk to is 1. It is really difficult. Maybe it's just me. I don't think so though, because this came from my friends. They said it is like really difficult to make friends. You have to put in the work, put in the mahi, put in the effort. Yeah. And then also about classes. I mentioned before that we would talk about this again, is that you can not go to classes. It's okay. Maybe it's like you're like me and you have to ride an hour on public transport to get there for like a lecture that has a recording anyways. Don't do that. It's okay to not go. But if you don't go, stay on top of things. Get notes, watch lecture recordings as soon as they come up. Don't wait for like ages and ages and say, oh, I'll do it later, and then never do it. Keep on top of it and try to go to your classes if possible, because it's always best to go in. But if you really can't, or like you really don't want to or something, and you know for certain that you can stay on top of it, it's okay. Don't go. Side note, this coming semester I had 2 to 3 days where I would have no classes, but then I chose this elective that has 1 hour of class 4 out of 5 days of the school week, and there are no recordings. It's not like a lecture, it's like a tutorial. So I have to go in, I have to take an hour public transport to go to class for 1 hour and then just come back and take another hour to come back. What is this? What is this? And I can't not go. There's no lecture recording. If you're not unfortunate like me, you don't have to go, but just stay on top of it. And then kind of back to what I said about the friends thing, you could probably be involved much less in activities, but like it's still good to try to be involved, because that's where you get your connections, your friends. But like university is, especially for people who live far and have to commute, it's like you just go in, do the thing, come back. And it's difficult to get involved in things because they all start so late, like in the day, and they end so late, and you have to follow all these things, go around, look at posters to find out about them. It is difficult to find out, but try. And kind of related to this, because of how difficult it is to like do things, get involved in things, do all these things, it is easy to lose yourself and lose who you are because it's no longer compulsory to be with people or to be doing things. Like in high school, it was a rule that everybody had to have at least one extracurricular. I had so many, and then out of those extracurriculars, I would make connections, I would discover who I was, I would be friends with people. But in university, that's not really the same. It's very easy to just go in, come out, and then you kind of lose yourself. You don't know what's going on. You have existential crises because it's not compulsory to be doing things, and it's easier to not be doing things. But like I said before, keep it up, keep doing things. Even if you don't do it in university, keep doing things that you like outside of university. Keep in mind who you are, what you like. Keep in touch with your friends that might be in other universities. Keep in mind who you are. Keep in mind all these things, what you like. Keep in mind your friends. Keep your friends. It is also easy to lose contact with friends, especially if they go to a different university, even if they go to the same one. You might not be in the same classes, you might not even be in the same major or faculty, and then it's so easy to just never see them again and never talk to them again. But keep your friends, keep talking to them. And finally, the most important one of all, always have snacks in your bag. You will probably be hungry and you're like, oh, I could just buy stuff from the store, from the campus store. They are exorbitant amount of money. It's so much money. And also, what if you're hungry like right now and it's halfway through class and this is like really important stuff and you can't leave? You can't like wait to leave and then buy something for an exorbitant amount of money. Just take it out of your bag and start eating it right there, respectfully. And like if your teacher, your whatever has explicitly said, please no eating in class, then I guess no eating in class. But you know, also what can they do? I've always wondered, like, what is the discipline for if someone breaks, like, a little rule? Like, if someone does something a little bit naughty, what are you gonna do? In high school, you could get, like, detention or something. What can you do here? Do we have a principal? What is going on in the House of Commons? Anyhow, that is all for this week's video. It is very hot right now because I'm wearing a hoodie and it is, like, cloudy and it was raining a while ago, but it is summer. Because university is about to start. Toss. Because university is about to start. Yes, that is all for the video. I really enjoyed this video. I love yapping. And I also like that I had like a spare phone to look at notes on. This is such a fun setup. I love this setup. I feel so cool. I feel so cool right now. Yes, I like this video. It was lots of fun. I hope you had lots of fun at university, college, wherever your life is taking you. Don't forget to comment and like and subscribe and follow everything and all that stuff. And yeah, and do your homework and stay fit. Anyways, I don't know. Yeah, that's all for the video. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, it was lots of fun. I like this video. It was so much fun. I love it. And this mic, I feel so cool just like holding it. I'm like, look at, I have a mic. I'm so cool. Look at that. I really hope it worked. If it didn't work, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad. I can see my mouth reflection there. I'm trying to eat the camera with it. Anyways, yeah. Bye, see you next week in the next one.